Obviously, an education is a terrible thing to waste. Welcome back to the show. Jeff DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and a pleasure to welcome this gentleman in. And I would imagine, if you were going to start out a coaching lifetime, and you would have to immediately develop a very thick skin in these circumstances. Now, and I was a big fan of Bobby Knight. I mean, back in the days of playing recreational ball in the schoolyard there, after sagging into another soft 2-3 zone situation and falling behind desperately to where you're going to lose the court for like an hour, you would go, let's go Bobby Knight. And we're going man to man. And then we know through our friend Johnny Feinstein that a year following Bobby Knight, cannot be an easy thing to do. I mean, there were mood swings. There were all kinds of crazy things going on. So we welcome to the show Dusty May. And Dusty, this was, the most curious thing. I'm thinking, how did this guy survive as a graduate assistant while working under Bobby Knight? But what a way to lay a foundation for a coaching career. How are you, first of all? And thanks for joining us on the show.
I'm doing great. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, it's good to have you on. And what? We have to be one of 1,000 calls to you now with this story that you're writing with the FAU basketball team. 18 in a row. And did you make a determination that you were going to just wipe out all teams that you previously coached with? Because it seems like you're just mowing them down one after another on the schedule, including the University of Florida, which obviously, was an eye-opener for people looking at FAU basketball. But how would you characterize what's happened so far this season?
Well, we still play Louisiana Tech twice, so we'd love to be able to get those guys to finish the revenge tour. But I know we're playing good basketball. Very proud of our guys. With it, it's like you said, brought a lot of media attention and other things with us. So we're proud to represent this university and program and show the country what we're building here in South Florida.
Were there any indications, even if you're in your most blind of faith, that you were on the right track? Were there any indications that this was going to emerge out of what happened the last few seasons at FAU?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously winning this many games in a row, a lot has to go right. And we felt like we were on the verge of a breakthrough last year. And we just found a way to lose 4, 5, 6 games that could have drastically changed our season, given us more confidence. For example, just a timely free throw here or a timely turnover there, because winning every single night in college basketball is extremely difficult, especially on the road. So we knew we were capable of winning, of having a great season. We didn't foresee this coming, but we knew we were capable of this. Our players actually were talking about, hey, coach, is there any way we can have a videographer film us on the road? We want to document this because we're winning the league this year. And my response is always, hey, fellas, let's have a great workout today. But they were speaking this into existence well before the staff. So they believe in themselves. They believe in their teammates. So it's been a fun ride so far.
Coach, we always find it interesting, and I feel like in football and basketball they focus on this term as much, if not more than any other sport, culture. You got to change the culture. We need a new culture, the culture. And in our racket, we tend to sort of mock that, but being down here where heat culture reigns supreme, we can see tangible evidence of culture being something that is defined, something that is real. When you get into FAU, what are the things you did to change or revamp or create a culture, the Dusty May culture?
Well, it started with the first workout that we were going to work with enthusiasm, with attention to detail, with purpose every single minute. And it was going to be probably much more difficult than anyone, especially the high school kids coming up, could be more difficult than anything they'd ever done. It's very similar to the heat culture. It's daily behavior. That word could be substituted in for a number of other words, but it means the same thing. How does this group behave? What do they do on a daily basis? And how do they actually live it, or do they just say it? So our guys believe in our culture, much like the Heat program fans. Everyone believes in their culture, and we just have the right guys at the right time coming together and doing something special.
It's funny, and you think of coaching styles and approaches, and you look back at like these old Bobby Knight teams and their epitome of discipline. And when Donnie May, your namesake, was chucking them up there for Dayton, it was a real disciplined, sort of structured type of basketball. The three-point shot comes into play. Obviously, kids want a fast break and dunk. Where do you draw the line between like the fundamental, stuff that would be part of a common winning formula for, say, old school coaches, and having a style of play that kids will find, and embrace and feel like they can have fun with. How tough of a line is that to draw?
It's very difficult. And even in year one and year two, we were at a crossroads where we felt like if we slowed it down, controlled more possession, was more structured, we would have a better chance to maybe win a few more games. But long term, we knew we were behind the eight ball when it came to building a fan base, being enjoyable to watch, being a place where recruits could look at us and say, I want to play there. I want to do that. I enjoy watching them. I love the passion they play with. So there was always that one eye in the present because we needed to earn respect, and then the other eye was towards the future. And so we were always balancing that. And now, we just try to basically give our guys structured freedom. We play a lot of freelance, just motion type of offense, but we also try to give our guys some structure so they know what they're looking for and what they're looking at. So definitely the Coach Knight influence was very impactful for me. And we still use a lot of the same stuff that Coach Knight did.
How giddy can you get on an 18-game winning streak? I mean, I haven't seen these clips yet. Maybe they've shown on SportsCenter. Have you been dancing with the team, or what's it like as you just continue to pile victory on top of victory?
No, my dancing skills, I'd probably need a few hours of some type of lessons before I could dance with our guys. But our young men have a very workmanlike approach. After each game, they're pretty happy. Rarely do they celebrate. I think they're just kind of on to the next challenge, the next game, and the season comes at you fast. We play Thursday, Saturday. Last week we played 5 games in 10 days.
Wow!
So there's not much time to enjoy the moment. So we just kind of turn the page. But our guys, I know that they enjoy the process and the preparation and all the things that go into winning, and they understand that that's a big part of why they found the success that they have.
Do you find, I mean, it's kind of cliche to say, but any kind of rise in the level of intensity that your opponents are exhibiting as this streak has grown?
Absolutely. We've become a big game. Everywhere we go, it's the biggest crowd. We haven't been to the games, but we watch film. And, for example, FIU had a great crowd the other night. Western Kentucky had a promotional red out sellout against us. So absolutely, with the AP number beside our name, like it's been for the last couple weeks, that elevates it even more. But anytime you have a first place team and an undefeated team in the league come into the opposition's arena, they're going to bring a good crowd and a level of intensity that we haven't seen in years past regularly. Now you see it occasionally, but night in, night out. And the beautiful thing about our guys, they're extremely competitive, and they embrace that as well. I think they enjoy being the villain on the road.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's working for you guys, Coach. Yes, tomorrow night, Thursday night, Middle Tennessee State, 7 p.m., and you can check that out on CBS Sports Network. We've seen the transfer portal sort of take over both college football and college basketball. And we've seen programs turn around quickly in a large part to the transfer portal. How do you attack? What are your thoughts on the transfer portal, and how do you use it at FAU?
We use it. I think we probably signed one player per year out of the portal,
wow.
and usually it's a specific need. Most of our roster are high school players that have been with us for a few years. The core of our team has been with us multiple years, and we attribute our continuity and our togetherness as probably as important as anything that we've done. So yeah, it's situational. We still recruit high school kids right now. We will have 1 or 2 scholarships next year on paper, and 99% of our focus is on high school players. We love the process of developing, growing, having a real authentic relationship. And then our guys, I think, have a lot of pride in leaving a legacy here and building something with the success they've had that's never been done. And anytime you're bouncing around school to school, you're not really leaving a legacy. You're not going to have a true connection to all the things after basketball, the alumni base, the administration, the coaches. It's just different. So that's what I fear the kids are missing out on most, is that lifelong, network or web that they're leaving behind when they just bounce around school. So we're very proud that we've been able to keep these guys, and hopefully we can continue to do so because we love coaching.
Well, what kind of spark has this created on campus? I mean, we're seeing a reaction from around the country. And I've been in places where, the guys that run a basketball team didn't even want anybody to know it. They wouldn't even wear their athletic jackets, because they were having losing season upon losing season. But I would imagine these guys are pumped up, walking around school and getting nothing but high fives as they cross through, the quad to go to various classes.
They're getting a lot of love on campus, on social media, all that, and they stayed very, very grounded. I think that they need to understand why they're getting that love, and it's not just the result. It's the way they play the game. It's their process. It's their work ethic. So I do think we have a very mature group that keeps it in perspective, and they also understand that it's fickle. It could be gone tomorrow if we don't continue to take care of business and improve and elevate to the level of the challenge with what we're seeing from our opponents.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun and a great story. Writing a Cinderella story here, and has to feel great to be a big part of it. Dusty May, head basketball coach at Florida Atlantic University. Game tomorrow night, and it's great because we're thinking we need to make arrangements to come out and see you guys play, and that's always a good thing if you can sort of ignite that. With a great job being done with a program like FAU as you're doing. Thanks so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. We'd love to host you guys up here anytime. Just let us know.
All right, sounds good.
We'll take you up on that. Thanks, Coach.
Sounded like a nice, solid invitation.